Hello YouTube, it's time to play another Doom Snapmap. I've got a subscriber recommended map. This is 7 Portals by ShadesMaster. Map description reads, this hashtag custom geo hexen remake has random acquired weapons, enemy loot drops, and upgrades / downgrades. 1/3 the puzzle means what? Not sure quite what that means. But judging by the map icon there, it should be some sort of a puzzle map, and since this is a Snapshot 7 challenge, the theme for Snapshot 7 was random generation, so we're going to see a lot of randomness, and it should be a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a play. This is a reaction review. I've never played this before, so after I play it, I'm going to go ahead and break the map down, talk about what I liked, what I didn't, and then try to wrap it up with some favorite, least favorite. So, without further ado, let's play some 7 Portals by ShadesMaster. Okay, here we go. 7 Portals. Are you ready to die? Oh goodness. That music just gets me pumped. Donate your blood today. Oh my goodness. If only you guys knew why I was laughing. Actually, there's no reason not to tell you. So, I actually did donate blood today. In all honesty, I did. The blood people came to my work, and I went and donated blood, which I do, every now and again. So it is ironic that that's there, and I'm playing it right now. It was pretty funny. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on with this level, shall we? Alright, minigun. Oh. Did glory kill? Whoa, what is this? What did that do for me? Was that armor? Oh, there's armor. Oh boy. Whoop. This guy sure got a lot of health. There we go. Gotcha. Oh boy. Gotcha there. I gotta get some more health pickups here. I'm a little wounded. Oof. Tagged. Random stat bonus. I'll take it. Hopefully it upgrades my damage.
Health bonus.
Oh, well, that's pretty good too. Whoa. Huh. There's something hidden in here. Let's see. Okay, I guess that only works once. Okay. Guess I can press this and random power up. Oh. I don't really want to grab that right now. I think I'll let that sit for a second. Dwayne. Oh no, this is going to cause a lost soul to fly at me, isn't it? No. Oh, dang it. Couldn't quite get to him in time. There we go. Oh, more guys. And the spiky ball that gives me armor. Ooh, in here now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab that regeneration. Oh, and it's a good thing I did, because now we got these guys to deal with. Take care of these Hellraisers. Well, one thing about ShadesMaster is he's not afraid to throw everything at the player, but the kitchen sink. Hell, even the kitchen sink. Definitely not worried about a little bit of a challenge, but I'm up for it. I'm up for the challenge. Okay. Alright, time to take out old Manny the Mancubus. There we go. Oh, dang it! I hate it when that happens. And I got him. Doing great. Feeling great, feeling good. Where are you running? Got the imp. Dwayne. What does that do? Okay, just summons more enemies. That's cool. Take care of this fool, this Hell Knight. I think there's a Hellraiser back here. Uh-oh. Security guy. I don't really have much in the way of effective weapons to go up against him. Dang. It's okay, maybe I can find... What is that? I'm not entirely sure what that does. Okay. Let's see if I can outflank him when he comes around the corner. Okay. More of these guys. Anything back here I can use? Huh. Wonder what the switch does. Oh, it just solved puzzle. Oh dear. There are a bunch of guys here. Wait, is that a quad damage? No, it's not quad damage. It's definitely purple, but it's definitely not a quad damage. Well, it's not doing me much good then now, is it? Okay, here's where the lack of proper weaponry is going to become a problem for me. Because these security guys are a big pain in the butt. And there are so many of them. ShadesMaster just loves using the security guys on me. Ugh. Oh, armor. And no, can't grab that yet. What's in here? Doom mask. I don't know if that actually did anything useful. What about in here? Disodium sigil. Okay, what I really need is like a double barrel shotgun or what? Random ammo amount? Sure. Nothing happened. Alright. Well, you know, because I can't totally blame him for the me not having the proper weapons here, because it is set up to be a random weapon type of thing, so it's just as likely that I could have gotten a double barrel instead of the minigun, or a rocket launcher, or something a little more useful. So I think that's just part of the whole randomness element. Of course, one thing that's not particularly fortunate for me is that the minigun uses the same type of ammo as the pistol, I believe. They both use those regular bullet ammo, which means that... No, wait, I think pistol ammo is different because I'm out of chain gun. Okay, never mind. I was thinking old-fashioned Doom rules. I guess in the new Doom it's a little different. I might as well hit this. At least I have my pistol ammo though, because if I had no ammo at all, I'd really be in some trouble. Now I think there's... I don't think I pressed this one yet. Puzzle solved. Central teleporter enabled. Oh boy. I'll leave those guys down there for now. Oh great, I gotta get past this wall of bullshit to get out of here. Oh goodness. Uh-oh. Okay, most of these guys can't actually get me here. Let's see if I can use that to my advantage. Okay, I can keep coming up here. It's good to know. Think I might have found a strategy for staying alive a little longer. Just get these guys in glory kill mode and then jump down for the kill. Better grab this. All very useful.
Okay. It's a little bit of a grinding process, I admit, but I would much rather stay alive than hastily get my ass beat. So, now these guys... Okay, I got some ammo. There we go. Alright, I'm starting to look a little better. Good on ammo, good on health and armor. Things are starting to look up. So far I haven't seen too many actual secrets though in this map. Whoops. Should avoid the hazards. Oh, the hell shot. Just laying there. I didn't see that. But I'm glad I got it. Sigil of Steel. And is there something in here? Oh, yep. Flame Mask. But it does not protect me from... Super weapon appears at the weapon pad. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get one of these cores in here. Find one more core. Certainly. The stone pillars sink. Oh, great. Oh, there's the other core. Oh, Baron. Oh, there's a super weapon. Oh, geez. It's getting awful crowded in here. And I got 2% health. Not good. Oh no, I saw the shadow of a cacodemon. I am so almost dead. This is so bad. And I hear cacodemons nearby. Oh geez. I see the... Oh no! Oh man. That was unfortunate. Reset my entire score too, wow. All that staying alive for nothing apparently. Seems like some of these barons might have more health than they should. No! Oh, I almost became ground beef there for a minute. They were all jumping at me at once. Good thing I managed to make it through that portal.
Oh dear. Okay, all I got is a pistol. Okay, no wait, I do have a chain gun. That makes things a little more even. Although far from fair. Okay, he's hitting me now. Oh jeez. Oh no. Oh jeez. Nope. Wrong way. And I'm dead. Yeah, this is definitely going over the 10-minute mark. Huh. Oh boy. Let's see if I can get to him in time. Nope. It was a gamble, and I lost. Oh geez, that dude just disappeared. Yep. Yeah, there's definitely a point where if you die a certain number of times, you sort of stop caring about staying alive. I'd say for me that point is about 4 deaths. After I die from like my 4th time in a map, I pretty much have given up on really being careful. Especially when I know my score resets. Let's see. Well, I might as well try to polish off that Mancubus. Gore nest polarized. Now, where's the gore nest at? Now, I haven't hit... Okay, random equipment. This might help me out a little bit. What is that? Oh, Tesla rock. Oh, no! Wow. I could not have had a worse weapon to deal with that situation because... Okay, well, because the minigun is not very effective at taking out lost souls when they come at you right away. You really want something like a shotgun. Shadowwood. Okay, so that was 7 Portals by ShadesMaster. Oh boy, I feel like that ran a little over the 10-minute limit, but that could have been due to a wide number of factors. So you know, that's the real trick with these, with this iteration of of the snapshot challenge. Depending on how people implemented the random generation, it makes it actually very difficult to really give a proper assessment of a map overall. And I think that's something, before I even get into what I liked and what I didn't, I think I really need to make this point real clear right now. That depending on how certain things that were randomly signaled, depending on the way certain things happened that were random, is going to wildly affect many aspects of the map and certainly my overall experience with the map. So it's very likely that if I played this map again, I would have a completely different experience. And in fact, that's more than likely the case. But I just want to put that out front and center, that a lot of I can only judge the map based on the experience that I had, and because of the random nature of the map, that's going to impact what I have to say about it. So just understand that my what I'm going to say about this map was because of the of how that randomness played out. Had it played out differently, I would have likely had a different experience. All right, we all understand that? Great. So let's go ahead and get into the things I liked and the things I didn't. I'm going to start out with the things that I liked. First of all, I thought the Geo was, it was good. It wasn't anything, I don't think it was anything too special, but it was nonetheless good. I don't think ShadesMaster is really capable of doing bad Geo. Just from the maps I played, he's pretty much a natural when it comes to laying down Geo and having it look nice. I definitely dig the sort of you're in a canyon type of atmosphere. Even though the Geo was very simple, like as far as the actual geometry of the Geo, it was mostly just a lot of boxes straight up and down. It didn't get too crazy with like weird angles or doing anything too otherworldly with the Geo. But for this type of a map, I thought the Geo was perfectly fine. And I did like some of the design on like the doors and things. They had a neat look to them. That's another sort of trademark of the ShadesMaster maps, is he does a pretty good job with his doors, making them interesting. So the Geo I liked. Another thing I liked was the implementation of the randomness, or at least the fact that the randomness was a feature. I appreciate the fact that there was that element of randomness implemented as so far as you could get a random weapon to sort of start out with. It looks like you start out with the pistol no matter what, but you're able to pick up a secondary weapon which is randomly generated. I ended up with the minigun. Okay, I mean, could have been worse. Could have gotten the static rifle or something. But I got the minigun, and it looked like there were random loot drops for the enemies, which is pretty cool. I gotta hand it to them. That's a very interesting thing to do with applying the random generation. Random loot drops is a pretty interesting idea, actually, and I could certainly see implementing that technique on a bigger scale into different types of maps, depending on what you're trying to do. I think randomly generated loot drops is a pretty cool feature. Yeah. Another thing I really liked was the fact that there was a portal that teleported me up into like a crow's nest where I could be safe and catch my breath from the constant onslaught that I was experiencing. So I like the fact that he had a portal down there that was activated at some point. You go in it, it teleports you up high. You can kind of you're up there, you're up on this like stone platform, and you are mostly safe unless a cacodemon floats up there and kills you. But yeah, I like going up there, get out of the fire for a minute, catch my breath. I can shoot down at enemies. The ones that were melee only couldn't get to me, so it was pretty easy to shoot them, send them into stagger mode, then jump down and glory kill them. I actually had a lot of fun doing that. That was pretty good. So I really like the fact that there was that the author thought to incorporate that little escape hatch, little backdoor escape route for when things got too hairy. I could always just jump into the portal. I definitely appreciated that. And speaking of appreciating, lastly, the thing that I really also enjoyed was the fact that there was what seemed to be an infinite supply of health and armor pickup on one end of the map. So, like, assuming you could make it to the back end of the map, there were these two big pedestals that had one had a health on it and the other one had an armor on it, and those seemed to just sort of infinitely respawn. So, like, as often as you needed them, assuming you could make it back there and grab them, you were good to go. And that certainly came in handy. And in a map as brutal as this, it was a much appreciated resource, and I think I took advantage of it quite a few times, and it was really helpful to have that there. So that does it for the things I liked. I'm going to get into the things I didn't like. And I think before I do that, I just one more time have to say that this is all the stuff I didn't like, I think, was largely affected by the randomness of the map. I don't know how much of this map was random. I think the sometimes when you're talking about engineering a map to have random features, it means you can randomly create a bad experience for the player. So just keep that in mind. A lot of this might just be due to randomness. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about the things I didn't like. First of all, I don't like the fact that I didn't start out with a grenade. That's always going to be my first complaint with any map. Now, that I do end up getting the opportunity to get grenades much later towards the end of the map when they're kind of not useful anymore. But I would have rather liked to have started out with a grenade, especially since this is a map where you can get a real bum roll of the dice. Like, you can be dealt a bad hand as far as what weapons you get. Like, I don't know. I'd have to look in the map editor to see what weapons. But can you imagine if all I had was like a pistol and a burst rifle, or a pistol and a static rifle? Like, I'd be totally screwed. So I think it would have been more than appropriate to at least give the player a grenade, especially considering some of the insanely strong enemies that you go up against. And honestly, that didn't really surprise me too much, because this seems to be somewhat of a trademark of a lot of ShadesMaster maps. He doesn't... I don't know if ShadesMaster as a player is just a really, like, a really top-tier player that's, like, dominating leaderboards, but I don't know if he engineered it to his skill level, which is maybe, like, fathoms and leagues beyond my own. But it seemed like this difficulty was really on the high end. I mean, really on the high end. Like, as far as throwing enemies at you, and strong enemies, just insane. And grenade totally would have came in handy. And that leads me to my next sort of issue with this map, is the difficulty. Way, way, way too difficult. I'm just putting that out there. It borders into being comically difficult. Like, somebody just spawns 12 barons and gives you nothing but a pistol. There were times where it felt like that was literally my situation. All I had was a pistol and a minigun and no grenades, and I'm seeing a beefed up boss cyber mancubus and like 4 or 5 baron the hell running at me. It's like, okay, this is getting kind of ridiculous. And as a result of that, I ended up dying way too much. Generally, if I die once or twice, I actually think that that's the hallmark of a good challenging map. If I die a couple times, that's fine with me, as long as they're sort of fair and balanced deaths. That's no problem. In this map, I was dying again and again and again, way too often. And I would say probably most people who play this map are going to have that problem. And I got the top score on the leaderboard. So, I mean, I think the difficulty was just way, way, way too high for this type of a map. And similar to what I said about his Snapshot 6 map, I felt under-equipped as a player, didn't have the right weapons. But again, that is probably just because of the randomness. I suppose I could have just randomly gotten a BFG to start out with, or a rocket launcher or something more useful, but it seemed like that the types of enemies I was going up against, I mean, unless the enemies were randomly generated, it doesn't look like it though. I think it's probably just the random weapons and loot drops, but it looked like the types of enemies that were spawning in for me to go up against, it almost seemed as though the author assumed that I would get the best weapon loadout possible. Like that's where the difficulty was sort of designed towards. So yeah, I definitely think the difficulty needs to go down 2 or 3 notches, because right now it is just way too freaking difficult. Yeah, and then that was a big problem for me. And you know, once I started dying, once I died for my 4th, my 5th, my 6th time, that's when I started to really not enjoy the map anymore. At first, it was a lot of fun when I was sort of, you know, and don't get me wrong, I love a challenge. I love walking that razor's edge of just diving into the fray and just desperately trying to survive and getting out by the skin of my teeth and just, you know, jumping from glory kill to glory kill and just hoping for the best. And like, I actually do really enjoy a challenge, but at some point it went from being challenging and fun to difficultly frustrating and not fun at all. And some point along that line, things just went way south. And at that point, I started getting really agitated and frustrated, and it became difficult for me to continue enjoying the map. Again, though, a lot of that might have been, I think some of that might have been the fact that maybe I didn't get the best weapon. Although the minigun isn't really a bad weapon. It's not the best weapon. I would have been happier with a double barrel, but certainly not the worst weapon. So I think honestly, I would say most of the issue with difficulty, I would hazard to say, is less due to the randomness, more due to the way the map was engineered. I think it was just designed to be far too difficult for most people. You can probably guess what my least favorite part of the map's going to be. I've just been talking about this for like 5 minutes now. Okay, so moving on to the next issue. I felt like there were kind of too many switches. Like, I don't know, it just seemed like there was a switch for this, a switch for that. It is sort of a minor complaint, but it just felt like there were a lot of switches, and some of them seemed to be less significant than others. I don't know, it seemed like there were just a lot of extraneous aspects to this map that maybe could have been consolidated into something more simple. Like, you know, you have the Dwayne switch, which summons enemies. You've got the power core receptacles, which do something. I think maybe they lower platforms down, and there were just a lot of different types of switches, and some of them seemed not important. And then you had like items that you would go pick up that, oh, I got the Mask of Fire, and it's like, well, I don't know if picking up all these different items were actually like important to the map, or if it was just something to do or an excuse to get you into a different room. I don't know. I think maybe some of that in a design sense could have been streamlined and reduced into maybe just a handful of different types of switches. Keep things simple, you know? You don't want to make things too complicated with too many different types of switches. So, I don't know. Not a huge issue, but something I noticed. And lastly, I mean, I think I've already beaten this horse to death, but I think the randomness potentially made this map unfun. But at the same time, I think I would peg most of that on just the difficulty. It's time for some favorite, least favorite. My favorite thing about this map is the random loot drops for the enemies. I think that's actually a really neat concept to have enemies drop different types of loot, that it really could add a lot of depth to a different type of a map. Or I shouldn't say a different type of a map. I mean, it was definitely fun in this map, but I think that that's a concept that could be carried over into other maps and could be a lot of fun to implement that as well. So the random loot drops for the enemies, I thought was pretty cool. I thought that was a really neat concept. I thought it was executed fine. Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. And I think it's something that people should sort of keep in mind when they're developing their maps. Like, I wonder if that's a mechanic that I could implement in my map and have it mean something. Maybe it can't, but if it can, it certainly would be a cool feature. So for that reason, the random loot drops is my favorite thing about this map. My least favorite thing is the difficulty. Now, like I said before, a lot of that could just be due to the random nature of this map. I could have just randomly had the conditions be more difficult than they otherwise would be, but I have a pretty strong feeling that because of the insane difficulty of the enemies, maybe less so with randomness. I feel like if I played this map a second time, I'd probably have a lot of the same complaints. Again, the difficulty. way too difficult. Like I said before, I love a challenge. I don't even mind dying a couple times, but when I die 5, 6, 7 times and there's just the most difficult barons and mancubus, and you know, you got the boss there, and oh goodness, it just gets too much. Especially when I've got only 2 weapons, one of them being a pistol. I mean, oh man, brutal. Just way too brutal. So yeah, so for that reason, the difficulty was my least favorite thing about this map. And unfortunately, it was kind of something that really kind of ruined the experience for me overall. I wish I could say that I enjoyed this map. I kind of finished this map with a sour taste in my mouth, if I'm being completely honest, but not the entire thing. I mean, I think this map just needs to I think what needs to happen is the author needs to go back into this map and make some fairly simple edits to tone down the difficulty, and then I think you would actually have a fun playable map. In its current form, I think it's just way too difficult. Yeah, and the first half of this map I actually really enjoyed. I was having a ton of fun for like maybe the first half of the map. The second half of the map, like once the bosses and barons started coming out, that's when things went off the rails and really went in a bad direction for me. But up until that point, I thought it was great. I was having a wonderful time. So this map definitely has a lot of potential. It just needs to be edited to be a little less of a nightmare. So I think I've definitely beaten that to death. So 7 Portals by ShadesMaster could definitely be a fantastic map. I think it has a lot to offer, but I highly recommend that it needs it needs a little bit of smoothing out around the edges, let's say. So there you have it. 7 Portals by ShadesMaster. If anybody out there has a map they'd like to recommend for me to play, please leave it in the comments below with a map ID. I'll get to it just as soon as I can. And until next time, peace out.